Hey guys, Bison here. Time to find out what's going on in this next episode of the Pokemon battles we got going on here. So we got the Major Pokemon League. This is our Week 14 match, as you guys saw earlier today, or I don't know, whenever these videos go up. Our Week 13 match finally went online, and we unfortunately suffered a loss at the hands of the Cincinnati Charizard. But today we're going up against Rizzy and the Phoenix Sunfloras. Rizzy came in the middle of the season as he took over Brett's team, and because there was things going on, and so Rizzy stepped in and was able to take over the team, and he was able to continue on with that, because otherwise we would have had some issues with not being able to have 16 teams. So good job, Rizzy, on that. But anyway, so Rizzy's team is, oh man, if you thought Turtle Nation had some fat team, Rizzy has a fat team. He has Mega freaking Slowbro, and Chansey, and Zapdos, as you can see right on his screen there. So you know that we have to hit hard and hit fast in order to do any sort of damage to this thing. And there's just no way I would be able to do anything without being able to have some hard-hitting teams that are able to hit super effectively. The Chansey, oh my god, I hate freaking Chansey. Chansey is going to be a huge problem for our team. So is Mega Slowbro. That's why on my Gallade, back in the Leaf Blade, Blade's Choice Scarfed, it's Adamant. We got our Life Orb Scissor. We got our Diancie. We got our Choice Banded Staraptor this time, because Rizzy's team is not the fastest. As he said, it's super bulky. The only thing is the Superior that he brought will outspeed my Staraptor, but I wanted to have a Choice Band on that Staraptor so I can do as much damage as I possibly can. We have our Roserade with the Black Sludge, and this has actually got Sleep Powder, so I have yet to bring a Sleep Powder Roserade. I figured, you know what, let's bring it because they might not expect that. And then we, of course, got our Salt Vested Slowking. So we need a victory, hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If we do not get a victory, we're immediately eliminated from the playoffs because Jay is on a 8-game winning streak at this point. It's just ridiculous. Jay and Lax, it's just ridiculous. We play them in the last game of the season to may or may not matter. Basically how it's going to work is I need to win my last 3 games, and Jay and Lax need to lose their last 3 games. That's the only possible way that we can make the playoff spot, but yeah. So we're going to go ahead and hit play and see if we're going to be able to get a victory here. Alright, we need the victory. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I go ahead, and he leads off with Superior, because I believe I lead off with my Slowking. Yes, I do. Lead off with the Slowking. So we've got back-to-back Slowking leads. I know I can take a Leaf Storm from this thing, no problem. He actually goes for the Taunt, maybe predicting me to be a T-Wave set, which is entirely a valid set. But I'd stay in. I go for the Flamethrower to get some damage off, because I figured that he was going to stay in, so I wanted to get some damage off, and I know that I can take a Leaf Storm from this thing. So as you can see, it's a leftover, so another bulky Pokemon. So he's going to withdraw his Superior, going into his Chansey, and I predict this as I go for the Psyshock just to get a little smidgen of more damage off, but it doesn't really matter, because it's an Eviolite Chansey that's going to be able to take anything and everything. So I switch on out of the Slowking and go into Scissor immediately, because I know that my Scissor can do some damage on this thing, and I believe my Scissor has, this Scissor has Sword Stance, possibly. Yeah. Yes, it does. So he switches off after getting the rocks up, and I am able to go for the knockoff, because I wanted to try and get the Eviolite on there, but foolish me, of course, he's not going to stay in there. But he does go into the Zapdos. I'm able to get the knockoff off, which does a good chunk of damage to the Zapdos. Get the lefties out of there. So what do you know, a bulky Zapdos. So I'm able to, I need to get the heck out of there, because I'm predicting Heat Wave to come through. Because Zapdos can learn Heat Wave, so I'm thinking that he's probably going to go for that, and I can't really do anything with that after getting the knockoff. So predicting the Heat Wave, I go into my Slowking to take the Heat Wave, but it actually goes for the Volt Switch, so this is a Volt Switch in Zapdos, and that allows him to get Switch Initiative, so he goes back out into his Chansey. Lovely. So guess what? I switch on out and go into Scissor. Because Scissor, I think, is the one that I can take some damage with. I need to get a clean switch in with Gallade and Staraptor just because there's so much damage. It goes for the Toxic. I'm like, yes, because I'm Steel. Can't Toxic me. Get the Defog off because I'm predicting him to switch, and he doesn't switch. Oh my god, he goes for the Soft Boil because he thinks that he can live a knockoff or superpower or something. But had I gone for the knockoff then, oh my god, it would have gotten rid of that Eviolite, and I would have been in such a great place to act. So I do go for the knockoff this time, But he goes into his Scrafty to get the Intimidate off, which makes this knockoff literally do nothing. I decide to he is an Assault Vest one, so I'm like, okay. Crap. I switch on out because I need the Scissor to possibly knock off the Eviolite onto the Chansey. So he goes for the knockoff onto my Glade. I thought he might switch or D-Dance or something. I thought he was going to D-Dance, honestly, which is why I switched in there because I'm Choice Scarf. But he goes for the knockoff. I'm able to barely live that and get a justified boost, which is going to allow me to go for a close... I go for the close combat, but I should have known that this slow bro was going to come on in here, and I should have gone for the Leaf Blade. I go for the close combat, and it does, like... That's actually more than I thought. But this Glade, I cannot switch it on out. Its item is knocked off. It's got a justified boost. There's no reason to switch on out. So he goes out into a slow bro. Excuse me. The slow bro goes for the Mega Evolution. As I go for the Leaf Blade, we're going to see how much damage that does. It does about 50%. A little bit under, because you can see when he goes for the Slack Off that he gets a little bit more health left. And I'm like, okay. So I'm just like, you know what? He's going to keep going for Slack Off. I'm going to keep going for Leaf Blade. Because I'd rather have this slow bro be at as low as health as possible. So regardless if he keeps, we're just going to go for this Leaf Blade Slack Off streak. Regardless if he keeps going for this, I think he will at least be at about 50%. Regardless, so as you can see, he is about little under 50%. He goes for the Scald, and it's going to take out my Glade no problem because I have a -1 and I had like 6 HP left. So I'm going to go out into my Roserade because I know I can one-shot this slow bro now. But he switches out, goes out into his Chansey. They go for the Sludge Bomb, predicting the switch, but what's unfortunate here is I actually kind of wanted this Chansey to switch into this because I can Sleep Powder it. But unfortunately, I get the Poison, which means that I can't Sleep Powder it. And I'm like, crap. But we found out later that this thing actually has Natural Curse, so even if I did Sleep Powder it, it wouldn't really matter. So it's going to go for a Seismic Toss, get some damage off on me. And here's when I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my Roxanne up. Because I can. There's nothing that he can do to prevent it right now. So I'm going to get my Rox up. As he's going to start taking some damage from the Poison, which is nice. He's going to go for the Soft Boil. Just because he wants to get himself back on up to full HP. Because it's a Chansey and it needs to be as annoying as possible. But it needs to have as much health as possible. So I'm going to get the Stealth Rocks up. As he goes for the Soft Boil. And then now, I believe I go for a Moonblast. Or not go for the Diamond Storm. Because why would I not go for Diamond Storm? That's a physical attack. As he switches, what does he switch in? What was he switch in? I think he switches in the Slowbro. Yes, he does switch in the Slowbro. And I go for the Diamond Storm. Able to take some damage. Oh, no, I didn't. I do the double switch. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot. I switch on out as I predict the possible Slowbro. And I go into my Scissor, because I know Scissor can easily handle this Slowbro. I'm faster than it and go for a Bug Bite. So I go for the Bug Bite right now as he switches out into his Zapdos. But coupled with Rocks and the Bug Bite from a Life Orb Scissor, this is going to do a butt ton of damage to the Zapdos. Without the lefties, it matters. So it does that much damage. I'm like, there's a chance that Bullet Punch may kill. So I go for the Bullet Punch. Do we get the knockout? We do get the knockout, and Zapdos is able to go down. So I'm like, yes, Zapdos is out of the way. Yes, yes, yes. So Scissor's at about half health. He goes out into his Scrafty to get the Intimidate off, and I'm thinking like, okay, his Slowbro is pretty low. We got the Rocks up. It's going to be taking damage from that. I have Roserade. I have Staraptor. I have things that can do damage to him. So, alright, you know what, Scissor, you've done your down. Just do as much damage as I possibly can to the Scrafty. So I get a Bug Bite off, which takes it down to a good amount of health. And it goes for the Drain Punch, which I'm barely able to live that. And he gets a good amount of health. I'm like, alright, I'll just go for another Bug Bite to try and kill him. I'm like, oh, and I get a crit, which absolutely matters, unfortunately. I'm so sorry, Rizzy, about that crit. Because without that crit, obviously, his Scrafty would have lived, and he would have killed off my Scissor. So Scissor actually goes down to the Life Orb. And we get the Scrafty out of the way, which is nice. So as I go out into Staraptor, because I know I can do some huge damage to everything on his team, as he goes out into his Chansey, and he switches his Chansey the heck out of there, because he knows a close combat's coming. Now I did some damage calcs while we were waiting here, and I'm like, alright, you know what, the Slowbro's going to come in, it's going to take damage from rocks. I think double close combat is going to actually be able to kill, because a Brave Bird would not kill the Chansey at that range. A close combat would. So I had to go for a close combat just in case he decided to stay in and go for his soft boil. I do go for the close combat as he switches into the Slowbro. Go for the double close combat, and it's able to take out the fatness that is Mega Slowbro. And I was just like, yes, get this thing out of here. I don't want to see your face anymore at all. So he goes out into his Mamoswine, and I initially thought that means that this thing was scarfed because of how easily he went. I was just like, yep, going into it. So he's predicting me to probably be banded just because of how much damage a close combat did to his Slowbro. So I switch on out into the Slowking, predicting the Ice type move. But I actually see, oh, Ice Shard. Oh, of course, priority. Well, doesn't need to be scarfed. He's got Ice Shard. Alright, so I easily take that, no problem, and I see that it is actually Life Orb. So I'm like, okay, you know what, let's just go for a Skull, see how much damage it's going to do, but it's packing the knockoff, and that's going to easily destroy Slowking's face. I'm sorry, Slowking, but you did not able to kill the Mamoswine, because I would have been able to take an Earthquake, no problem. I just forgot that Mamoswines run knockoff. So go out into Straptor, as I know he can go for the Ice Shard, but I know I can live it by Arena crit. And he does not get the crit. I do live on 28 HP. And I'm going to go for the close combat and knock out this Mamoswine. Because again, Brave Bird was not a guaranteed OHKO. And I wanted to lock myself into the close combat because that way, Chansey too. You know, Chanseys. Alright. So he goes out into his freaking Superior, and I have to switch on out because I am banded and not scarfed. If I was scarfed, I would be outspeed, but I would probably still switch out. I don't know how much a close combat would do. But anyway, he goes for the Leaf Storm, and I was actually crossing my fingers here. I was sacrificing off Diancie, but I know how bulky Diancie is, and I'm like, please die, please die, please die, please die, because I needed Diancie to be sacrificed to get out of there. It does die as he goes for the Leaf Storm, and I am able to get a nice, clean switch in to my Roserade. So I've got Roserade and Straptor left. He's got Superior and Chansey left. Each one of them can be better than the other. So I knew that he was going to switch out into his Chansey. So I didn't want to go for the Sludge Bomb because I didn't want to get the Poison. So go for the HP Fire. I was packing that in case because he has Steel Pokemon that it could have hit and be able to do some damage to that. So anyway. So I get that done. He goes for the Seismic Touch, which does some damage to the I reveal I got the Black Sludge. I go for the Sleep Powder here. But as you saw, I missed it, and he was able to get the Seismic Talk off. I was going for Sleep Powder again, but he switches out into his Superior, nicely predicting that, and he was able to absorb the Sleep Powder because Sleep Powder doesn't affect grass types, unfortunately. What can you do? What can you do? So I go for the HP Fire once again because I'm thinking that he's trying to do little switcheroonies here. But he actually goes for the Synthesis to get full HP back. And I'm like, huh. Alright. Alright, I see what you're doing, Rizzy. I see what you're doing. We go for the HP Fire, and it actually does a little bit less than the Synthesis. Coupled with the leftovers, obviously. So I'm like, okay, what do I do here? Do I go for Sludge Bomb now, predicting the switch? I'm like, no, I'm gonna go for another HP Fire. And he goes for the Leaf Storm. I'm like, okay. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to get as much damage as I possibly can off onto this Superior. And I do get a huge chunk of damage right there. He just barely lives. And I'm like, okay, you know what? He's super low. I don't think he's going to switch out this time. I think he's going to go for a Synthesis. So he does go for the Synthesis as I go for the Sludge Bomb this time, which is going to be able to knock out their Superior. And I'm just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. So Superior is down. So now we just got Chansey and the Staraptor left. So here's the problem here. All he needs to do is get up Stealth Rocks, and he can outsaw me out, no problemo. All he needs to do. So if Sleep Powder misses, which it doesn't, thankfully, and I believe based on watching Rizzy's video, he was going for Stealth Rock here, because if he did get the Stealth Rock up, Staraptor would have died on re-entry, which would suck. But we were able to get the Sleep Powder off, and I'm like, yes, okay, he slept one turn already, so I need to switch on out into Staraptor. I need you to not get a one-turn sleep. I need you to get at least a 2-turn sleep. Come on, Rizzy, you can do it. Chansey's been putting in the work. He's tired. Chansey is tired. sleeps, and I'm like, just like, alright, good, we're GG. We go for the close combat, and we're able to knock out Chansey and get a very narrow, very hard-fought 2-0 victory, and we were able to get a win here, which we absolutely 100% need. So really at this point, our next battle is against Eric, and our final battle is against Jay and Lax. At this point, Jay and Lax have won 9 games in a row. 9 freaking games in a row. Yeah, that's insane. I think it's a little unfair that you have the brain power of Jay building the teams and the battling skills of Lax all on one team for that. I think that's a little unfair, to be honest. But anyway, they have won 9 games in a row. So at this point now, even though I won this last game, I'm probably not going to make the playoffs, because basically what's going to happen is Jay and Lax will need to lose their last 2 battles by like at least a 5-0, and I will need to like 5-0 and or 6-0 by Eric and Jay and Lax in order to make the playoffs. So I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen, but we don't know. We got to have faith. Got to have faith in the San Francisco 49tails. This has been a great season so far. So turn in next time for our Week 15 match against Eric, which should be a good one. That's coming up later on sometime in the future. Possibly, I believe, because I think this video should be up before Sunday's battle does. But in any case, hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I will see you guys later.